Welcome to RSSDI TV 2020. I'm Dr. Sanjay Kamble, and on behalf of VOCAD RSSDI 2020, I welcome you all. I'm glad to have with us today a renowned endocrinologist from Mumbai, Dr. Sanjeev Shah. Dr. Shah has more than 40 years of clinical experience in his field, and Sir has witnessed the evolution of diabetes. So, sir, based on your recent talk in RSSDI 2020, we would like to know what is the mechanism of postprandial hyperglycemia?
Dear friends, postprandial hyperglycemia is the early hallmark of type 2 diabetes. It starts with first phase insulin response being absent in response to a glucose coming from a meal. So primarily when the food is consumed, glucose absorption is normal in diabetic people, but insulin response is faulty, resulting into postprandial hyperglycemia. The second mechanism is the production of glucose in a basal state should get suppressed during the meal effect due to suppression of glucagon. But this does not happen in type 2 diabetes. So unsuppressed glucagon will generate glucose even in a prandial state. And a third, due to insulin resistance, the prandial clearance of glucose, which should happen in skeletal muscle and hepatic tissue, is also faulty due to absent insulin effect on glycogen synthase and glucokinase enzyme. So postprandial clearance of glucose is defective. In addition, for Indians specifically, it also depends on the content of carbohydrate, which is high in Indian diet. And the Indians have more incretin defect in a prandial state. All put together will contribute to higher prandial glucose. And that's a therapeutic challenge.
Okay, sir, what are the unique properties of glinides?
When it comes to kind of drugs available, glycine is a class of a drug which were discovered about 20-25 years back. They bind to SUR1 receptor similar to sulfonylurea, and they open a potassium channel, resulting into insulin release. So they are classified as secretagogue. The unique thing about both glycinide, repaglinide, and netaglinide is they have a quick binding to receptor and a quick dissociation from receptor. And in addition, they have a very short half-life. As a result, the action is very quick and the action is for a shorter duration. As a result, they are typically prandial secretagogue to be consumed 2 to 3 times a day. The unique thing is people who have irregular food habits or people who are traveler or a patients who inject twice a day pre-mixed insulin, it could be the best drug as and when they eat, it could be consumed. Friends, I would also tell you the patients with chronic kidney disease also require kind of a secretagogue. And repaglinide being actively hepatically metabolized and the excretion doesn't depend on the kidneys, repaglinide is a preferred drug in patients with CKD and a diabetic kidney disease as a secretagogue. It would not cause hypoglycemia. The potency or efficacy is similar to glibenclamide or any other sulfonylurea. It would reduce A1C by 1% on the top of metformin. We can't compare with DPP-4 inhibitor because being a secretagogue, it is more powerful than sitagliptin and teneligliptin. But in an algorithm, if we have to use on the top of sitagliptin, it has been evaluated in Japanese subjects, and it is even very effective on the top of metformin and sitagliptin. It could be used in any kind of a background therapy, and it would be one of an important short-acting prandial secretagogue.
So, sir, how one makes the decision to use glinides in the practice?
Now, when it comes to selecting a prandial secretagogue, our choice automatic goes to sulfonylurea. Traditionally, we have been using all along, but all of you are quite aware that secretagogues or sulfonylurea work for quite a long period of time, as long as 12 to 16 hours, and some of the drugs work for 24 hours. So if we compare with two most commonly prescribed sulfonylurea, compared to glimepiride and gliclazide, this repaglinide is equipotent, but it is a quicker acting. Our patients have peak prandial glucose at 90 minutes, and it would be able to offer you a better control at 60 and 90 minutes compared to 120 or 180 minutes. So, as a preferred drug in patients who are prone to develop hypoglycemia, I would like to use repaglinide instead of sulfonylurea. The second important choice, I would like to use it during the daytime and would like to prevent use at nighttime in elderly people who are prone to hypoglycemia. Patients who inject basal insulin would need 2 prandial doses of such short-acting secretagogue. And a patients who take 2 doses of pre-mixed insulin, it could be used in the middle of a day, in the afternoon, pre-lunch in Indian patients who consume proper lunch in the middle of a day. The most important thing is repaglinide can be combined with metformin for basal suppression effect, and it can also be combined with another prandial drug like voglibose, which selectively works for pre-meal. So a combination of repaglinide and voglibose makes it a short-acting, a prandial dual drug offering a larger prandial glucose reduction at each meal whenever it is used. So it gives an option and a choice to physicians to optimally use a prandial effect of repaglinide.
Thank you so much for sharing your views, and stay tuned to RSSDI TV 2020 for more recent updates from RSSDI. Thank you so much.